Everybody's been asking about you, corn dog. Where have you been?
That boring school.
At boring school.
Daddy.
Do you wish you could come back to the farm now?
Daddy.
It wasn't so bad, was it?
No.
Which horse are you on?
Gator.
Gator. Oh, Gator.
Whoa, Gator.
Say hello, Grace. Those 30-inch roll beams look up through there. It's just, I don't know, it's something about them. To me, they look so pretty. Especially when you cut them at an angle like that. We've been putting a pretty hard angle on them, on everything we've cut this year. This old header does a lot better job cutting. Well, actually, it'll cut a little closer running with the roll, but as far as floating and everything across the ground, it does a much better job as running it at an angle. Them old quad range tractors, you gotta give poor old Robert, you gotta give him a little time to get caught up. Be a lot easier on the power shield. Cutting on the 15-inch roll beams right now. We'll get down in the 30s in a minute. I can't tell the difference in them, but what I'm gonna do is this next pass, I'm gonna put the camera on the beans and the yield monitor and let you be the decide. Now when we get into the fall, into the winter months, and we get using this data, analyzing this data, I'll be able to tell y'all a more definite answer, because we can break this field out into halves and get the actual yield numbers. But we're running them at an angle, so that means you're going across the 15s and then you go off into the 30s. But that's a pretty load of beans. Glad we got a rain and put some moisture back in them. These are still checking like 10. first load yesterday was 11, and then the next one was 10. This one should be about 11 or so. But there you have it. Okay, so here we are. I'm gonna let y'all look at the 15 versus the 30s. Now, do remember there is some delay in the monitor. You know, what you see right now, you're probably not gonna see on the monitor for about you know, 3 or 4 seconds. So we're cutting along here about 45 bushel an acre beans. This is the 15s coming up on the crest of the hill. Let y'all kind of get an idea of what they look like. That side of the farm over there is the better side of the farm. As you work your way this way, the ground gets poor. Well, here we are on the top of the hill. Marching across there about 3.8 mile an hour. If I wasn't filming, I'd probably push her on up there about 4. Alright, here we are. We're coming into the 30s. So remember on these that the 15s was planted on 140,000 and the 30-inch rolls was planted on 130,000, and so you got a slight seed savings on the 30s. But here's what the yield is showing. That's the end of the 30s. So here's my personal opinion. If you got some good land, flat ground, wet nature ground, bottom ground, I'm for the 30s. I think the 30s have a slight advantage in that situation from what I've seen. I don't know if it's about getting some more air down in there in the canopy, and some light down there on the bottom of the plant, stimulating it to make more pods. A lot of times drilled beans, like in the bottom, get real big and rank instead of putting on pods. So flat ground, I like 30s on flat ground, wet nature ground. On hills, I think you either need to be on 15s or be on 15s or 7.5s, which we ran the drill on 15s this year. our thinking was that we would put more seed in the row, because we was trying to save on seed costs, because with the drilling on 7.5s, I don't feel comfortable drilling below 160,000. So our thinking was we'll put more seed in the row, they'll help each other push out, and we'll plant them 140,000 to help save on some seed costs. But our plan next year is to drill all our beans on 7.5s like we always have. If we get behind, we'll hook up the corn planter and run them both like we did this year, because you can plant lots of beans in a day with that planter and the drill running, and I can't tell of enough of a difference to try to get them all drilled with a 15-foot drill when you got a 20-foot corn planter sitting there doing nothing. And the plan next year is that I'm going to plant corn, and in April we're going to put Robert on the drill, and he's going to start planting beans earlier than we've been starting. Which this year, normally about the 1st of May 1st or May 15th is when I like to get my early beans in. But that's our plan. Whether or not it works or not, who knows.